Hi, Sandy here. I'm going to make a videotape of me scrapbooking my vacation. This is all of my photos and things from the Space Needle in Seattle. I took a lot of pictures and I spread them out on sheets of paper. I only do 8.5 by 11 pages. I scrapbook all of my photos. I don't just put them away in a box. And I've come up with 15 pages. So I'm gonna, I've kind of laid things out with things I can use, and so I'm gonna move my camera so it's over the desk and start videotaping. So, see ya. Okay, I'm gonna gather up all of these and stack them up in some order. Sorry for the silence. I kind of want all of my pages to match, so I'm going to use this. I have 3 sheets of this. I hope it'll be enough. If not, I'll just continue with another print. I only do 8.5 by 11 pages, so this is 12 by 12 paper. I'm going to trim off 1 inch at the top. And then I'm going to trim these down to 2.5 inches. That'll get me started. And I have 2.5 in this narrower strip, plus this one that goes across the top. So I'm going to use this narrower strip on here because we don't have a lot of space to work with. I need my newspaper. I always use glue sticks, and I always put paper behind them to keep it from messing everything up. So I'm going to start by, I made this border with the Space Needle on it, and ticket, and just various things. I did put a blank tag on there. So I'm going to write the date that we were there. This was actually it was my birthday, 6/11/18. So I'm going to get this all glued up. And that's a dead glue stick right there, so I start a new one. I always take the old cap, the new cap, and put it on the old one and toss the stick. And then the new one always has this one. This is the one that I'm using, so then I always know which glue stick to use, and I don't have a lot of glue sticks open and being used all at once. So that's how I do that. So I'm going to put this right here. Stick that down. And I'm gonna use this. Put this right here. And then, oh, I've got 2 Space Needle flattened pennies. I've got this, and if you see one thing in Seattle, see everything. And there's the Space Needle, and it's an ad for seeitall.com, but I don't really want this side, so I'm going to go ahead and glue that. I'm going to put that right here. And then I had it fanned out like this, but I don't like that repeating. It looks a little confusing to me. So I'm fanning it out like this. And I'm going to put that right here. And I'm going to use my stapler for that. I don't often staple things, but I'm going to staple this. There we go. I better do another staple over here in case I missed that. It's the one on the side. Now, this looks pretty bare right here, so I'm going to use my glue dots and put this penny right here. I would put both the pennies on, but I need to fill in some blank space on my other pages, so I'm going to hold on to that now. So this page is done. That's my intro page, and here's my scrapbook that I have started. Starting with day 1, we drove 846 miles, and I added a map. We drove through Iowa, South Dakota, Wyoming, had breakfast at IHOP. We stopped at Wall Drug in South Dakota. This is us in Wall Drug at South Dakota. I bought something there, and they gave me this plastic bag, and I thought, hey, I'll do something with it. I want to save it, so I cut this out of the bag and glued that on there. And I don't really worry a lot about not acid-free stuff. I do up to a point, but if I want something in my book, I'm going to put it in there. This probably is not acid-free. Actually, I think paper is acid-free. Maybe not the ink, but I'm really not going to worry about it because, I don't know, I'm just not going to. And then this is the Wall Drug menu because we had lunch there, and this is the art gallery dining room. They have all these cowboy and Indian Western art for sale there. This is a border that I made. We had lunch at, there's our receipt, and I'm saving all of the receipts because everywhere we went, food was so expensive, and I want to remember that. I don't know why I do. And we stopped in Sturgis, South Dakota, and they have this giant motorcycle rally there every year. I'm not into motorcycles, and I've never been there before. And we got gas, and there's a sign there that says Sturgis, kind of like a little Hollywood sign. And I just added that in there. Then we spent the first night in Billings, Montana, at the Vegas Hotel, and they had a little American classic pizza there. We ate pizza, and this is the story of our day. And then this is day 2. We drove 834 miles. And here's the map. We drove most of the way across Montana, across the narrow part of Idaho, and most of the way across Washington to Seattle. So it took us 2 days to drive to Seattle. And we don't have a lot of mountains in Nebraska, so mountains are pretty interesting to us. So we took some pictures of the mountains. This is mostly in Montana. We had breakfast in Livingston, Montana at McDonald's. And then we had lunch at Durango's in Superior, Montana. We stopped at a rest stop and took these pictures with the mountains in the background, driving through Montana, Idaho, Washington. And then this is a picture of a bridge in Washington, bridge somewhere in Washington State. Are we there yet? Washington. I've had this thing for a few years, and I finally used it. And then I circled Seattle here because that's our destination. I used a map page for the background of that one. And then this is where we stayed, the Marco Polo Motel in Seattle. We paid $726 for 5 nights, and I think that's a little bit high. We usually pay under $100 a night at Motel 6, but even Motel 6 was expensive. So we thought we'd try this place, and I wrote notes, and then we walked, our first night in Seattle, we walked to the subway and had dinner there, and homeless drug addicts were coming in there, just been hanging out in there. Then this is day 3, and I made a list of all the things we did, and this is a tag that I made, and I added this little picture of Seattle, and then this is a postcard of Seattle. I added a strip of glitter paper. I'm trying to use up some of my glitter paper. And then we rode the bus in Seattle, and I have never taken a bus when I was on vacation. So we had to go a half a block from our hotel and walk across this. This is Highway 99, Aurora Street, and it's got this divider all the way down for miles. You cannot, if you're not on the right side of the street going in the right direction, you can't turn off. And it's a little tricky. And there's the bus sign, and then they have these buses that bid. We don't have them around here, so that's something interesting to us. And a map, there's our motel, and 2 blocks over to catch the bus. So I save everything. And then this is a famous landmark there. I didn't actually see the car wash. I think they just saved the sign because it's a landmark. And that was downtown when we got off the bus, so I took a picture of that. And it does spin, so there's 2 sides to it. And then we rode the monorail. Here we are on the monorail, and I got the penny and the picture out of a brochure. And then here they have this thing there, the monorail man. I think it's art. Somebody created this robot type thing just for sculpture. And there's this little map of Seattle Center, and there's our tickets. And on the back, they had some fun facts. The monorail can carry up to 6,000 passengers in 1 hour. The monorail is electric. Each train has 64 tires, 16 load tires, 48 guide tires. We ate at breakfast at Starbucks, and of course they're huge in Seattle, but they're everywhere now. And I have never gone to a Starbucks because I don't like coffee. My husband does. He had some coffee. I had some hot tea. My daughter even had an iced coffee drink. She's fine with coffee, and they had some donuts and sweet rolls and stuff, so we ate breakfast there. And then we bought the city pass, which we can go on our Argosy Harbor tour, go up to Space Needle, Woodland Park Zoo, the Seattle Aquarium, and the Pacific Space Center. So I made this page. This is going to be a little bit thick. This is our three city pass books with the tickets torn out. We used them all. Now, when I bought this, it saved 42% or more. I thought this was discount tickets, but no, you actually bought the tickets. So we did not have to pay for any of these. We paid $59 each for the pass. But we got in all of these free with our ticket. So that turned out well. So, back to my Space Needle thing. Because I got just one page here, I'm going to make a one-page layout, which, this is it. It's going to go right in here. And I usually put my stuff away right away. So then, from then on, I'm going to make 2-page layouts. And continue. I added some empty pages to the book. So, we'll continue on. Okay. this. So I just use glue stick for everything, and I just put a little bit on photos. For paper stuff, I glue it really pretty good all the way around the edges, but for photos, I just do it in the middle. And I have redone scrapbooks in the past, and I was able to peel off the photos with very little damage. Now if there was something important written on the back, that would have gotten damaged peeling off, but with the glue stick, and I've redone stuff where some other stuff people have given me where they have taped it on, and that double stick tape, boy, it ain't going nowhere. That's like permanent. So and I do a lot of the same layout all the time. There's a postcard. I don't really care what it says on the back. I'll glue that down. I'm going to glue it down like a photo. Now, I got my strips here. And I think I will put that, make that the same as the photo, which is 4 inches. I think it's 4 inches. Let's see if that works. I usually put a little mark on there. Ooh, I'm being brave. Yes, it's 4 inches. So I need 2 4-inch strips. Now, I want this to like be a continuation of the photo, so I'm going to line it up. Oh, that one didn't turn out too well because it's, I'm going to use it anyway, I don't care. So I got that. And that. Need my glue dots. I'm going to put 2 on here. And just put that right there. That's basically done. I don't have a lot of embellishments to put on here that fit with my theme. I might add a strip of paper across here, but for now I'm going to get them glued onto the page, everything glued down. Actually, I'm going to do this. I've got this. I think let's see how big it is. Maybe I can get 3 strips off. I'll go for 4 strips. So I'll slice this. I want to get this used up actually, so I'm going to cut it. Right there. And I'm going to cut this into 4 strips just to use it up. This will be a little bit tricky. It won't be totally straight, but it's good enough. Okay, so I got these strips. I'm going to add a little pizzazz. And this will curl up a little bit, but then once it's in your book and it dries well, it'll be fine. There. Oh, that adds a little excitement. Fills in the blank space. This is how I scrapbook. I don't have to think about layouts. I just try to fill in the empty spaces. There. A lot of times I go online and I download little pictures or any size pictures, and then I print them up small, and just so I have something, an embellishment. Okay, that is done, and I'm going to do my next 2-page layout. And I got a lot of postcards, so I want to use those up. This is basically the same layout. So I don't want that on there because I don't want to cover up. Oh. I'm going to put this right here. This is a tag I made of the Seattle, with the Seattle Space Needle. And this is nothing important right there. So I'm going to glue that down right there. Now my first 2 pages are complete. Now, again, this is my daughter's. Yeah, I was trying to get a good picture of her standing in front of the Space Needle, but it was dark and I couldn't get the pictures to come out well, so I kept taking pictures. And there's a postcard. I bought a lot of postcards at this Space Needle store. My husband likes to buy a t-shirt, and I did get one t-shirt when we went to San Francisco later on in this vacation, but I don't like to buy a lot of stuff to clutter up my house. I do buy some magnets to put on my refrigerator, and I do buy I buy a lot of postcards to put in my book, because otherwise you buy these things. Like at the Seattle Aquarium, there's these cute sea otters, and then you can buy a little stuffed sea otter in the store, and then you get it home, and after a while you're like, God, why did I bring this thing home to clutter up my house? So I've learned over the years to stop buying all that stuff and just get postcards. I'm going to put this on this side. I'm liking that glitter on there. And I need another one of those strips. This time I'm going to measure, because these are not 4-inch photos. They are a different size. So I need one this size, and then one this size. So that goes here. And that goes here. I like to have a little margin around my pictures instead of going straight to the edge. That's just how I like to do it. I usually make a page in about 10 minutes time. And then when I have to peel this up a little bit to get this to lay flat under there. You know, and that's a little bit curled, but you know what? It's going to be pressed in a book for the next 100 years. So, okay, those are done. And moving on. This is pretty cool. They are remodeling the Space Needle right now. And while they used to have a railing there, and then you'd look out above the railing, now the glass goes floor to ceiling. And then they've installed these glass benches. And some people get a little bit freaked out by that. But it really didn't bother us. There's my daughter. I don't think she's scared. I think she just wasn't ready for her picture to be taken. Because she wasn't scared. Well, maybe she was. She's leaning against the glass. Now, these two, I'm going to get in photo bags. Here are all of my blue photo mats. Oh, I could use this glitter, but it's hard to... Yes, I am going to use the glitter. Will it even show up? Do I have some darker colored glitter that will stand out more? No. I'm going to use those. I had a whole bunch of glitter paper that I was not using, so I cut it into strips that I can use, and I cut it into some photo mats. It was just sitting there untouched for a long time, and so now gradually I'm using it up here and there. This is kind of crooked. I'm going to trim the edge off. But I cut this out of a brochure or something. But I'm going to put it there anyway. I think I've got this strip. It goes the other direction, but I'm going to use it. I got to trim it down to 11 inches. I just don't like a lot of space that's not... I don't like empty space. Okay. And this. And I glue down this glitter thing. I hope I'm not too far out of range. I'm over here gluing. And when I was at the motels, I pulled a lot of maps and brochures and all kinds of things. So I'm going to add this right there. And then, because they're going on glitter, to the glue dots. And I'm going to roll these up and make them thick so they can get down into that glitter and get a grip. Okay. Get that lined up. Press it down into that glitter. I'm not feeling that other glue. There it is. Okay, then tear this off. I think I'll use, no, never mind. It doesn't matter. I thought I'd use that picture because it's the same scale as this one. This is further scale, but it doesn't matter. I already glued that down, so I'm going to leave it alone. Press that into the glitter. Okay, that page is done now. My strips that I cut, I need a 4-inch strip to go next to that photo. Okay, now, where's my glitter strips? I had more. I did have more. I know I had. Here we go. So I'm going to cut this down to size, put a little mark on there. And again, I'm going to cut it into 4 strips. They're not exact, I'm just cutting. A little crooked. Okay, now I'll put that right there. I kind of need to find some embellishments to fill in these empty spaces, but if I don't find anything, it's not the end of the world. It's colorful, and that's all that really matters. I think, oh, I do have these binoculars. I'm going to put those on there. There. That's all it needs. So I've already got 7 pages done. Now, we're going to go to a little different format here. I've saved these sightseeing, explore, and adventure. I'm going to trim this off here. 3 4x6 photos do not fit on a page, so they need to be trimmed down, and I just trim wherever I can. I'm going to trim off a little bit of the sky. That's pretty close. I'm just going to trim a little bit off the bottom. There. Now I got all three of these on here. And then this, I don't need that. I can trim a little off the bottom. And a little off the side. This one I don't really want to trim much on, but I can trim some of this sky off of this one. A little bit more sky. I'll make it work, I will. And just a touch more sky off of this one. Now, put this here. I need to cut up another sheet of paper. Cut 1 inch off. And then I'm going to go with 2.5 inches. Okay, first, I'll put down my strips of paper. And it doesn't really matter what order these are in. I like to do the top and the bottom one first, and then I can get the center one centered instead of working my way up or down. And sometimes the things get a little bit messed up. Okay, that's done. Oh, I just said I'd start at the bottom, but there. See, this is why I do the middle one last. Okay, I'm going to put Explore right there. And this peeled off the backing a little bit when I tore it. Then loosen the sticker. There we go. put that right on the photo. It's not hurting anything, because I don't see myself ever wanting to take these photos out of this book and reuse them someplace else. So, okay, I wish I had more stuff to decorate these sides, but the page is all colorful and nice. Next. Ugh. And this will be just like the other one. Sometimes you just gotta let the pictures do the talking and not distract too much with a lot of other stuff. So if I don't figure out what to decorate my pages with, it's about the pictures, it's about the vacation and remembering our good times. So make your own rules. Just enjoy keeping things simple or getting as complicated as you want. Okay, now these are not necessarily the same order I had them in before, but it doesn't matter. Okay. Hey, there's an island over there. Don't want to trim that off. I can trim some of this railing off. I can trim this railing off. And a little bit of the sky. I like these clouds on there. I don't want to trim much of that off. Actually, when I was doing this, I was thinking, well, I can trim like all of this off and just have this much, and I can get 4 or 5 pictures on one page, but I don't want to lose all my scenery, so I'm not going to do that. Let me see if this fits. Yep, that works. Okay, I ran out of videotape, so I had to, but I didn't miss much. I noticed it right away. So I had to put it on my computer and hit continue. So you didn't really miss anything. I checked the end of the previous video, and the last page I was working on was, you didn't miss anything. So these are my last 2 pages of my Space Needle section. And I seriously think my books are going to be, I'm going to have at least 2 scrapbooks of this vacation, because we did go on to Seaside, Oregon and San Francisco. We had a 2-week vacation, and we drove. And we saw a lot, we took a lot of pictures. We went to the Seattle Woodland Park Zoo. Oh, we got really carried away taking pictures there. And we went to the Seattle Aquarium, and we took a lot of pictures there. This is my receipt from buying postcards and souvenirs at the Space Needle. Got a t-shirt and magnets and postcards. So I was taking photos and my husband was taking photos, and we each got nearly identical photos. So I could pitch this, but what I do with my extra photos that I don't use, and it's rare that I don't use them, when something like this comes up, I tuck it in the pocket. I just tuck it between the 2 pages in the pocket, and it's there if I ever want it. I have this adventure thing. I'm gonna put that on the pictures of us up high. Okay, and then I've got this. This is the, my daughter and I are huge Grey's Anatomy fans, and it's set in Seattle, if you don't know, and there are scenes where they go to a helicopter pad to meet the helicopter with the patient on it, and in the background is the Space Needle, as if the hospital is right there at near the Space Needle, which it really isn't. But they do have this building here, the Como News building, and on top of that is a helicopter pad, and they put an H on there, and this is the actual place where they filmed those scenes, so I got a picture of that. And since that's kind of a special photo, I'm gonna matte that one in gray, as in Grey's Anatomy. And then I can write on there. Helicopter pad. Used in scenes of Grey's Anatomy. And I've got this picture of the skyline. I think I would trim it ever so slightly. Put that on there. And then I did just go online and I downloaded this picture and printed it of Grey's Anatomy, and I'm going to put that on that page. So that's it. We just did 16 pages in, and I don't know, about an hour. So I'll show them all to you, a final recap. There's 2. Four. 6. 8. 10. I'm going to put this adventure word on this page. There. And then, so we were at 8, 10, 12. I'm miscounting because I got one in the book. 2. Okay, so we got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, and 15. So 15 pages of a Space Needle. Got those all done. So thanks for watching. Bye-bye.